when my dad suddenly banned me from hanging out with Tyler, and it nearly destroyed both of us completely. Tyler lived 2 houses down in the blue house with a tire swing hanging from the massive oak tree. We were absolutely inseparable from the moment we could walk. Every single day after school, we'd race off the bus together, drop our backpacks on his front porch, and disappear into adventures until our moms had to physically drag us home for dinner. We rode bikes through the neighborhood like we owned every street, built elaborate Lego cities that took up his entire garage floor for weeks. Tyler was more than my best friend. He was like my twin brother, my other half. Then one Thursday in October, everything changed forever in the most brutal way possible. Dad picked me up from Tyler's house wearing this weird, uncomfortable expression I'd never seen before in my entire life. His jaw was tight, his knuckles white on the steering wheel, his whole body radiating tension. In the car, he stared straight ahead and said the words that completely shattered my world. You can't go there anymore, ever, period. I threw the biggest, most explosive tantrum of my entire life. I screamed until my throat was raw. I cried until I couldn't breathe. I kicked the back of his seat so hard my legs hurt. Tyler was my whole universe, my everything. How could he just rip that away without warning? Dad's response was ice cold and final. Some families are different than ours, and that's all you need to know. Then he cranked up the radio loud enough to completely drown out my desperate sobbing. At school the next day, Tyler looked as confused and devastated as I felt. He kept cornering me by our lockers, asking why I couldn't come over anymore, why I couldn't have sleepovers, why everything had suddenly changed overnight. I had absolutely no idea what to tell him. It was humiliating and heartbreaking watching my best friend beg for answers I didn't have. I started making up increasingly ridiculous excuses. I was grounded indefinitely. I had mountains of homework. I was mysteriously sick. But Tyler knew me better than anyone. He could see right through every pathetic lie. For 3 agonizing weeks, I begged my dad every single day like my life depended on it. I'd follow him around the house, pleading, crying, promising to do extra chores, to get perfect grades, to never ask for anything ever again. He'd just shake his head and walk away like I was completely invisible. The silence was absolutely deafening. Mom seemed just as uncomfortable and tense as I felt. Whenever Tyler's name came up in any conversation, she'd suddenly become very busy with dishes or laundry or literally anything that meant she didn't have to look me in the eye. The whole house felt wrong and suffocating. Tyler eventually stopped asking me to play. I'd watch from my bedroom window as he started hanging out with other random kids from our street, kids I'd never even bothered talking to before. I felt completely abandoned and forgotten, like I was watching my best friend erase me from his life. The loneliness was absolutely crushing my soul. One Saturday morning, I was helping Dad rake the endless piles of autumn leaves in our front yard when Tyler's dad came outside to grab his mail from the mailbox. They made direct eye contact across the white picket fence that separated our properties. Tyler's dad smiled warmly and waved exactly like he always had for years. My dad pretended not to see him at all, turning his back and busying himself aggressively with the leaf pile. The awkwardness was so thick and suffocating you could cut it with a butter knife. That's when everything suddenly clicked into perfect place in my mind. Something terrible had happened between our fathers. This entire nightmare wasn't about me or Tyler at all. Later that same day, I couldn't take the mystery and pain anymore. I snuck through the loose board in our back fence and found Tyler sitting completely alone by their pool, his skinny legs dangling in the crystal clear water. When he looked up at me with those familiar brown eyes, they were red and swollen from hours of crying. My dad says your dad thinks we're bad people now, Tyler whispered, his voice cracking with raw emotion. Why would he think that? I asked, sitting down beside him on the warm concrete. Tyler's whole body shook as he answered through fresh tears. Because my parents are getting divorced and my mom is moving in with her girlfriend Sarah. Your dad told my dad that he doesn't want you around our sinful lifestyle. The words hit me like a devastating punch to the stomach. My dad wasn't protecting me from Tyler at all. He was protecting me from Tyler's different family, from a kind of love he didn't understand or approve of, destroying our friendship forever over his own prejudice and ignorance.